My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. Do you want to make friends? I'm just trying to make you some money. My job is not just to entertain you, but to educate and teach you, so call me 1-800-743-CNBC. Tweet me at Jim Cramer. If you want to sum up today's terrific action in one single word, that word would be jailbreak. This incredibly bullish market's bursting through brick walls like the Kool-Aid man, sector after sector. Dow surging 323 points today. S&P jumping 0.58%. Nasdaq, wow, new record, plus 6.9. S&P new record, Nasdaq new record. Whew. Itching to do that. Hey, maybe you can't judge a book by its cover, okay? But you can absolutely judge a market by what's up the most. And right now, this market's screaming that everything's working. Not one sector, not another, but everything. Yep, I called it jailbreak because pretty much everyone was let loose today, instead of the usual I win, you lose pattern that has bedeviled so much of the action of late. Let me pick out one particular moment, one glorious particular moment. It was in today's session. It was that second when President Biden was whispering about paying people more. Okay, you got that. The surprise infrastructure bill is bipartisan compromise. Nearly everyone had given up on. Okay, you know what I mean? That'll demonstrate it. Okay, so let's go to work. Hey, look, I'm a stock whisperer. What was up the most at that moment? That's enough with the whatever. Number one, Eli Lilly. Today, the FDA gave fast-track designation to Lilly's Alzheimer's drug. This one's huge because we heard lots of grumbling in the medical community after Biogen got FDA approval for its more controversial Alzheimer's treatment. Now, I know CEO Dave Ricks came on this show not long ago and predicted this, but then we got some seemingly discouraging data, and the stock got pulverized. Lilly's now up more than $50, 50, from its lows a couple of months ago, including a monster $15.87 gain just today on this news. More importantly, this news tells me that the FDA will be fast-tracking many more drugs. It's a brand-new FDA, which means you can pay more for the entire pharmaceutical industry right here, right now. It's a fantastic fact. The FDA has gotten easier. Second biggest winner? Tesla. Yeah, a market led by Tesla is a winning market, a market where big growth is back. The stock's been in the doghouse ever since it spiked after joining the S&P 500 earlier this year. Now Tesla's on the move again, and I can see a long runway here because it looks like their competitors still aren't ready for prime time. Goes higher. Watch, it'll start a little bit in the morning. I'll be up at 3:30 while walking you through it. It's to myself. I like to do the show to myself when I work out. Next up, United Rentals and Caterpillar. They've both been lagging because Wall Street had given up on infrastructure and started worrying about a slower economy. But when you get nearly $580 billion in new spending, that gives the industry a huge boost. United Rentals has been that's a fantastic business. It's a nationwide roll-up of equipment rental outfits. As for Caterpillar, CEO Jim Umpleby is running a company with incredible discipline, no compromises. He's the first CAT CEO I can remember who speaks of the shareholders in the same breath as the dealers and the customers. Oh, and those higher steel prices that everybody's worried about, will you give me a break? CAT's got so much demand with such a great brand name that they can pass off the cost to the customers. All right, now here's an insane one, but again, it speaks to how broad this rally is. Darden, yeah, think about Olive Garden. Now, get this. I thought restaurants were supposed to have inflation problems, labor shortage, headaches. I mean, this is when everything's supposed to be so bad, right? Well, it looks like what we really have is more important, a last man standing scenario. That's my takeaway from Darden's quarter. So many of Olive Garden's competitors went under that it's the new champion by default. Olive Garden's nearly back to even with 2019 pre-pandemic levels. That's amazing. Longhorn Steakhouse was up 13% versus 2019. To me, this link of the chain was the layup of the lineup that even Ben Simmons could make. My Longhorn has great service, and by the way, an absolutely killer Bloody Mary. I am not kidding. Not to mention pretty decent steaks and pretty good taters. You know, even my critical wife liked it. Left a big tip. 28%. Why not? Sixth biggest winner at the time of Biden's speech. When the federal government passes a big infrastructure package, you're going to need rocks and aggregates to build new roads. So Vulcan Materials came on strong. Another stock that had been crushed of late because the cyclicals had gone out of style, and nobody expected this compromise bill. Shocker. 7. Well, you've got to love a market where Align Technologies is near the top. This is the company behind Invisalign braces. We've heard endlessly about new competitors coming in to challenge Align's dominance, but where the heck are those challengers? Have you seen them? I haven't. Honestly, I debated getting fitted for these, and I already had braces once. But you know what's really good for them? De-masking. That's my term for not wearing masks. De-masking. Clever. Eighth. How much do I love seeing Wells Fargo on this list? Top 10. Today, we got the results of the government's stress test with all banks passing. On Monday, banks will reveal their capital return plans. You know what's going to have the best one? It's going to be Wells Fargo. It's going to be Charlie Scharf. This one is the most to gain. If they get the green light, they can do a huge buyback, maybe repurchasing as much as 13% of the company. You have to hope the stock goes down tomorrow. Wells absolutely deserves its spot in the top 10. We need a bank in there to round the group out. I believe this will be the biggest percentage winner, which is why it is such an outsized position for my charitable trust, which you can follow along by joining the ActionAlertsPlus.com club. Then there are the last two, the two that confirm that this really was a market-wide jailbreak. Qorvo and Skyworks Solutions, the semiconductor companies. For weeks now, this market has lacked semi-leadership with the exception of NVIDIA. Did you know that NVIDIA, the second, bit me yesterday? I took it as a sign of strength. But I wanted Qorvo and Skyworks on the list because they're cell phone chip makers, and without them, you're not going to see the rest of tech rally beyond FANG. And the letter A, the second one, not the first one, which is, they were both not doing great. But I'm telling you, Apple is going to react to these. The stock of Apple. Don't forget, I mean, you know, Katie Huberty raised her price target by $1, but that's key. That's a signal. She's signaling. Buy Apple, buy Apple. So what do we got here? All right, we got drug, we got high growth, we got tech, we got infrastructure, we got dining, vanity, bank, cell phone chips. Ooh la la! The definition of opportunity in a wide, good breadth market. What makes this list so important? Simple. For months, this market's been zero-sum. Either the boom and bust cyclicals were winning or the slowdown stocks. Remember, always been, it's a value market. It's really just a growth market. I mean, who are those people? Occasionally, it's been a market led by oil, which is bad for pretty much everybody outside the energy space. These rallies weren't jailbreaks. They were just selective parolees from the bear house. The reason, until today, we had given up on the federal government doing anything else to bolster the economy beyond the latest COVID stimulus package, which is about to run out. All that's left will be a bountiful child tax credit, which is great and should be a total gift for the usual retail suspects. Target, Walmart, which has really been awful. My charitable trust owns it. I got to own that. American Eagle Outfitters, and then Costco, which is just to the moon. That now means that it's pump and dump or something. Beyond that, it looked like we weren't getting any more help from the feds. But today's infrastructure news makes you feel like maybe our government can govern. That alone is a major price-to-earnings multiple enhancer. We've gotten so used to partisan rancor that I've given up on the federal government giving us any good news for the foreseeable future other than, I don't know, that stimulus package, and that seemed to be it. Then today, we get a beneficent FDA and an infrastructure bill that's a surprise with lots of money for roads, buildings, and construction equipment. Earlier this week, I said that we're in a benign moment. There's little news. Lots of time on our hands to wait for the next big catalyst, a time of tremendous opportunity. I used that word 10 times, opportunity. For weeks, that meant we only reacted to the Fed, including Friday's comments from a non-voting Fed official about the need to tighten more aggressively to stamp out inflation. But how many times can you sell stocks because of rising freight costs? I mean, really? Does everything really have to come down because of these supply chain issues? It's too good a time, people, to consider everything to be so negative. You got to stop that. With the Fed finally out of the picture for a few days, we finally get a huge catalyst in the form of this infrastructure bill. I will not be bearish. Now, tomorrow is a Russell rebalancing. We don't know what's going to happen. It could be terrible, like a similar rebalancing from last week. We know that some money will have to come out of a bunch of stocks to pay for the mean pump and dies. Meme stocks could cause a decline. But the bottom line, right now, I think any decline will be bought because this is a positive, opportunistic moment, people. And there are many who want to put their money to work. Oh, by the way, it doesn't hurt that Dow stock Nike reported a great number after the bell. Today's jailbreak shows you the bulls are still in charge. Whether it be a new drug that's a blockbuster, or a last man standing restaurant, or cell phones, or a challenge bank, or straightened teeth, I'll take it all.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. Hashtag Mad Tweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.